she was on the show a couple of years ago, and we've been communicating about some of the authors that she represents. And Lasheera Lee is back on Black Authors Matter TV, and welcome back.
Thank you. Thank you for the invitation. I hope everyone is doing well this evening.
We're wonderful. I mean, we're happy to have you back here. Welcome to the show.
Thank you.
Now, you've been busy over the last couple of years.
Just a little, just a little.
It seems like every other day, every other week at least, you're signing somebody new, a new author to a book deal. And so, what we wanted to know is to get an update on where you are, where your agency is in terms of just what you've been doing and focusing on. And then we want to go back to how you got started.
Oh wow, what am I focusing on? A couple things I can't announce because I all parties haven't signed contracts.
Mm-hmm.
But I'm
Just
very
between
interested in the
us.
micro dramas, the vertical
Just,
dramas.
so
Can you
just
hear me?
so just between us, we won't tell nobody.
Yeah. Very interested in that. I do have a very big deal that if I think will be announced this week.
Ooh, good.
Um, Getting more African Americans or just authors in general in front of in bookstores and bookshelves and trade deals. As you know, there's generally a study done every year that lays out how many marginalized and melanated authors have been published, how many people are in the industry, how many agents, editors, da 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 da. Well, that particular survey is no longer in effect. It's being replaced with something else. A lot of people aren't aware of that because they just like you don't know really a lot about the industry. So that is no longer in place. So we won't have a gauge, so to speak, to determine where we are when it comes to marginalized authors, which is very disheartening. So I always say, I see a lot of things on social media. I don't comment. Neither there the, but I just keep scrolling. But a lot of times, people make statements about various stores, various campaigns, and often we can be our own worst enemies
Mm-hmm.
because without the DEI mandates, um, which don't also impact African Americans, but impact a lot of different demographics. Without those mandates and people saying different things and making various comments, but not having a seat at the table can actually hurt us.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah,
Yeah.
So
but
I'm just
we've
advocating.
seen this.
I'm just really just advocating as a whole um for literature as a whole and for authors.
I'm
Mm,
very glad that you said that. I've been following Threads a lot. And on Threads, there have been a lot of discussions that I really believe, if we're not careful, can really hurt the Black literary industry.
Yeah, and not just not just that. Of course, this is Black to be matters, but other demographics. But people aren't aware because, and then people don't research.
Right.
no.
They go by what Pookie Man and Peaches say.
And half the stuff is with AI, especially. Half of the stuff online is false or fake, or you know
Oh, it's a
it's not
different narrative.
real. It's so I've really I've started a new rule for myself. And that is, I really don't want to deal with anybody new in business because it's so many people cutting corners and being fake with fake stuff is not real. They're looking for a quick buck.
And
And
I will even test that even for me, a lot of times, like especially when I go to not book signings but industry events where I may be on the faculty and you're looking at the first 30 lines, first 3 pages, or if someone query me. I think I did cut off my query manager. I hope I did. Just talking to you reminds me of that. And you say, oh, this sounds good, but I am now requesting the whole manuscript, which is now taking me a lot longer because you don't know what's in the middle, what's at the end. So even I, as a agent, I am really looking for those nuances that may be a telltale sign of, okay, is this AI, which
Facial
is
reading
taking up
of
a
face.
lot more of my time,
Yeah,
unfortunately.
yeah.
Well, I'm
I
going to say that one of the things that one Substack I plan on writing very soon is how AI made me a better writer. And what I mean by that is that what I found that AI does is that it mimics a lot of things that we used to a lot of literary devices that we used to think were good writing, like for instance M dashes and short sentences. AI mimics it and overuses it, and so now I'm more aware of it in my
Conscious of it.
writing. Yeah.
Yeah,
So
I
when
am a dasher.
when I write
Rhonda,
myself, I used to
yeah,
love using M
use
dash,
dashes.
but now I don't
I
want to
use
be
them,
a
but I don't
student.
overuse them. But I use them.
But no,
I probably
my
I'm
point is
with
I
Dr.
don't
Lawson.
overuse them either. But the fact that AI
AI
when I use an M dash, I don't want anybody to think that what I wrote
was
is
AI.
is AI. So
And
I'm a
and
lot
I
more conscious of it. So
yes.
what I do is I pay a lot more attention to my writing. And because I pay more attention to my writing, I believe that it's actually made me a better writer.
And I really hate it also because AI does use a lot of imagery. And I know a lot of writers, especially like my OG writers, they use a lot of imagery and they use and they use it very well, a lot of alliteration and things of that nature. A lot of the old school English, as I would say, the devices. And I hate that people feel like you can't do that because people automatically assume that it's AI, which also tells a telltale sign to me as a reader, someone who just like I hate to say this, a Johnny come lately, or someone who's been reading for years. And I think also you can tell where readers are in their reading catalog if they feel like, oh, someone used Johnny Jump something something, but they probably know maybe alliteration. But they feel if someone does that, then that's AI, or they use a lot of vivid imagery, a lot of word usage, that's AI, because they aren't used, maybe not used to people who are really delving into in the imagery and the usage of all the literary devices. So I feel sorry for a lot of authors because a lot of people are critiquing. I told one particular person last week, just write the book.
Yeah.
Just write the book.
Yes. Mm-hmm.
But I was in another discussion in another book group. I like book groups where people are actually having literary discussions and they're not using them as dumping grounds for promos. So I'm in a book group where they're actually discussing, and one author said that they had heard of an author who had written books years ago, like 13 years before AI became a thing, and they actually ran their books through an AI detector, and it said 80% AI because they were using
A lot of
techniques.
imagery,
Yeah,
techniques.
that AI overuses now. They were using these techniques way before AI became a thing, and AI was picking it up as AI detector. So I say all of that to say that these are real techniques, and it's not saying that you shouldn't use it. And even now, I still use a lot of these literary devices. I just don't, I'm just very careful about overusing them.
Mm-hmm.
So this, so I say all of this
It's
to
a
say,
balance.
yes, it's balance. If you like using M dashes, continue to use your M dashes. If you like using the 1, 2, 3 rule, this, and this,
Mm-hmm.
people like to, and they like to use series. I call it series. AI uses series a lot. You can still use them. You just may not want to overuse it. And I'd say that even if AI wasn't a thing, if you're overusing a series in your writing, it's going to weigh it down and it's going to make it very repetitive. And then it's people are going to get tired of reading it. So that's the reason why I said that AI has kind of opened our eyes to things that may have been repetitive in our reading, in our writing.
And we're
That
not even aware of it.
Yeah, exactly. Now we're more aware of it because of AI.
Mm-hmm.
So that's why I said in certain ways AI can make you a better writer.
It can, but it's ripe for scams. People
You're
are really
looking. You're that's a totally different point.
people are using it. I mean, it's like I say, if I don't already know you, and I know a lot over the years, I know a lot of people, or you have to be referred by somebody I know and trust. Otherwise, I don't even want to talk to you because I don't even, first of all, I don't know if you're human. Now, you don't know if it's a human.
Or as
You
a bot,
it's a bot,
or
or
agent, as
they're
they say.
writing. They're writing. I got an email from somebody who said that they were with the Breakfast Club. They were no, he was the general, like the manager for the Breakfast Club. And he saw the book festivals page, and we had a big following, and the Breakfast Club was doing something special where they were highlighting different people doing different things, and they were going to go live on Facebook. So, I did some research. The name they dropped was the right name. And it was, they had some steps. First, they had you respond. Then they um, set the date. They told you the dates, and I'm checking. Oh, and they were going to pay too. It was a paid thing. So the step that was the red, I was skeptical the whole time, but the step that was the red flag was they did a Zoom test, and the person on the other end was an Indian from India. And I said, okay, why would the Breakfast Club have an Indian? And then and I don't do this with anybody. And if you all do it, I don't recommend you ever do it. They wanted to show me how to do it by having access to my computer.
Oh
That was
no.
when I said,
Yeah. Oh no.
I'm out of here. I hung
Out of
up.
here. Exactly. Mm-hmm.
But it's all kind now. Who and the letter they sent was very well written. The whole thing
Mm-hmm.
was
Because
AI.
it probably was AI. It was
Yes, the whole thing. So, like I said, if
You
I
should
don't know you,
call the radio station back.
I did try to send them the information. I don't know if they ever got it. That somebody was running scams. Somebody was running a scam using their name. So now you don't know who's using your name. Somebody might be. I guess we have to check to make sure our names aren't being used for scams. Because
My name is being used for a scam. If anybody calls you from Homeland Security and tells you that their name is Officer Rhonda Lawson and that you have a package at the border, hang up on them. That ain't me. Especially if it's an Indian man. It's not me. Hang
well,
up.
into the Indian, I'm not trying to be stereotypical, but a lot of them are in the tech world, in the engineering thing.
But I'm just telling you, ain't no Indian man named Officer Rhonda Lawson calling you from Homeland Security. I'm just telling you, if
Okay, well,
they
and
tell you
I
it's
didn't
Officer
think
Lawson, it's not.
I
It's not.
I didn't think there was an Indian connected with the Breakfast Club that would be running over the show. That just didn't make sense. But it was elaborate what they did. It wasn't just one step. It was like three or four steps. It's a brave new world we're in right now, and
I'll
people
tell
need to
you
be
that
very judicious.
I will tell you that there is a scheme going around, and it's not just Homeland Security. Um, they are doing it with a number of different government organizations, and they're probably doing it with the Breakfast Club too. That they go to the website and they choose names because the names are on the website.
Mm-hmm.
So that's why I said they may have told you the correct name because they went to the website and they found that person's name.
Right, they did.
And they may have read off a phone number, and the phone number might have been correct, and they know how to clone phone numbers.
And their
But
email was the Breakfast Club something at Gmail.
yeah, they can do all of that. But the thing is, and I'm telling you guys this for real. I'm not even being funny, and I'm telling you this because I do work for Homeland Security, and I have had people use my name to try to scam people, And when the
Wow.
person hung up, when the person that they were calling hung up and called the number back, they reached me, and they'll call me and they'll say, "Well, you don't sound like an Indian man. Somebody called me. Is this for real?" And when they find out that I'm the real person, they get upset and they're like, "I just gave all my information to this scammer." And I'm
Oh
like,
Oh
wow,
my
that's
God.
"scary,
Yeah,
that's
don't give
scary."
any information on the
Yeah,
phone.
the
or,
Send it back.
phone, yeah, and most institutions or agencies will tell you, they're not gonna secure information via text or,
exactly.
even email and things
Right.
like that, and then, another red flag is that Gmail, if it's a Gmail or Yahoo or something else, if it's not, a .com, that's also another red flag, but a lot of people get so excited, especially if they feel like they have an opportunity, to do something different, and
Mhm.
especially something of that nature, they just automatically assume because like you said, they did the research, they see that that person is on their website or on their directory, and then next thing you know, they have the whole accounts have been wiped out, which is very unfortunate.
It is. Now, getting back to what you do every day as an agent. Now, do you have a legal background?
No, I don't have a legal background. All my background is in studying and interning. I did quite a bit of interning for various people. I'm not going to say right now, but I did quite a lot of interning at an older age. It kind of reminds me of that the movie where not Martin Scorsese, not Al Pacino, but the other one who interning because I felt like I was the oldest intern, but I did that just so I could know the background and the ins and outs of the industry,
Mm-hmm.
and dealing like with contracts because that's very important
Yeah,
too.
that's what I when you mentioned
To
the
deal to
contracts, that's
dealing
what.
like with contracts has been very important. We also have a lawyer who helps and assists us. So sometimes we have
Okay.
boilerplate contracts for certain entities where everybody's may not look like ours because our lawyer has went through it and kind of fine tuned it, if you will.
Mm-hmm.
So that helps, and also reading. You know, you can't just read just like literary books, but you have to read. You have to read trade books. You have to go to webinars. I am a member of American Association of Literary Agents, and so they constantly have webinars and workshops to assist us. So I always tell people, whatever you do, you need to be efficient in your craft and always be a student.
Okay. Well, that's good advice. You should always be learning.
Oh yeah, because things. Oh my gosh, even like I haven't been doing this a long time. It seems like I have, but I think this. I think I'm entering my third, and maybe almost fourth year. But things have changed tremendously since I've entered into this realm. So, and as technology has changed,
Mm-hmm.
you have to be very aware of that, and you have to look at AI. AI is a very hot topic, especially like when you enter into sub rights, which you know are your translation rights and audio rights. But I don't even consider audio as sub rights because audio deal is just a publishing deal, just in various format. But you have to be wary of that. Because AI and not to make sure AI has not is not going to be a part of that if the author doesn't want that as their brand. So that's something that you have to deal with as well,
Mm-hmm.
because technology is constantly changing.
It is. It is.
Yeah.
Now, how do you decide who you're going to represent?
This meeting conference is kind of like it's a marriage to see if you're gonna be a good partner because it's a partnership. So sometimes you can tell, sometimes you may make you may strike out. But it just varies on what I'm looking for, particular, and if that work speaks to me at that particular moment, and I feel like we could be a great partner together.
Okay. So, do
For
you?
somebody um marketable. I mean, of course, everybody's looking for somebody marketable, but are you look? We
You
used
talking
to
about
say,
like a debut author? Would I take a debut author?
okay, well, not just a debut author, but somebody who has a little get up and go, because we normally tell authors that agents and publishers aren't looking for somebody who thinks that they're just going to sell their book and then sit back and wait for the royalties. So,
Oh, I have that conversation quite a bit. And the world has changed, you know, especially like with people, say for instance, even like 10 years ago, 15 years ago, the market has changed where you see a lot of authors who normally didn't have a lot of visibility on social media now are finding themselves that they have to do some type of marketing or promoting on social media. I remember a long time ago, I'm not going to mention this author's name, but she's extremely successful. And she transitioned to some other things, and she told me years ago, Lasheera, no one's going to do more for you than you're going to do for yourself.
This is true.
And I even take that to heart, even as a agent. No one's going to do more for me than I'm going to do for myself. Nobody's going to do more for me, my clients, I do for myself. So a lot of times I do stuff that other, like I may reach out to somebody, see can a client gets in a certain festival or certain store or certain things like that, because especially in this day and time, and when you're dealing with a certain clientele of clients as well, then you have to put, to me, I think you have to put forth that extra effort to make sure that they're going to be in the right place to get the visibility and be successful.
Okay. Are you looking for new clients? Or are you always looking?
No, I'm always looking. Not always looking.
Okay.
Actually, I had closed my query. I am opening it up. I'm not opening up my query manager because at one point I was getting like 100 queries per month, and it's just me.
Oh,
Can't.
oh,
But so that is closed. But I am open to looking at certain proposals or certain query letters.
okay.
Now, with that being said, though, I often get the question. I'm an author who prefers to stay independent only because of my
Yeah,
schedule.
yeah.
But but I often get the question of um, should I be, not I personally, but should I be independent or should I be traditional? And there
Or
are,
hybrid. A lot of people are more of a hybrid authors these days, and that
right,
just depends on, because traditional may not work for
are
everyone.
still looking for, yeah, there's still some who are still looking for traditional because they think that carries a certain amount of prestige. As an agent, what type of advice do you give to an author when they're trying to make that decision?
Well, that's something you have to look within yourself, because there, when you trad, there are certain deadlines. But honestly, some of these girls, they have deadlines. Even they're indie, they have certain deadlines and markers that they have to meet. And it also means, like, traditional just doesn't mean just traditional book deals, but audio deals or translation deals or vertical film deals or film deals. So what do you want? What do you want your career to look like? Do you feel that traditional publishing is ideal or hybrid? Most people aren't just traditional these days. Most people are hybrid. So they have the best of both worlds. So yeah. So most people, I ain't gonna say most, but I'm gonna say probably like 50% of authors are leaning to more of the hybrid experience.
Okay. So you're only the agent for the traditional publishing. That's how you get paid as an agent. Is that correct or no?
No, that's not. That's
No?
correct. No. So
So
I have
how do
people.
you represent
I have
somebody?
people who are hybrid. I do a lot of audio deals. I have translation deals. I have a few
Okay.
vertical film deals. So yeah, there's a
Okay.
myriad
So
of
the
different
person
ways. Yeah.
could be um self-published for their regular book and then get an audiobook deal. Is that what you're saying?
Oh yeah, they yeah, they have an
Okay.
indie. They have an Indian print, but there's an audio deal for that print. Hmm.
Okay. Okay. Well, that's new information.
Hmm. Oh
Mhm.
yeah,
Yeah.
that's quite no, a lot of people look for that because audio is just as important to me. I don't see it as a sub right. I've said it for a couple of years because they're no the audio market is about $33 billion and growing.
Okay. Wow. I knew it was growing. I didn't know the number. So so are you like are there certain genres that you favor? I noticed you have quite
Oh,
a
I'm
few
a
books.
romance girl.
Oh,
I'm
okay.
most definitely a romance girl. I'm
Okay.
most definitely a romance girl. I love romance. Let's see. Last year, I probably sold. It was like 50. I probably sold like just in trade books, not in audio books. I wouldn't even baby count them many. But anyway, I think I sold like two thrillers and six romances, and this year I've sold two romances. Well, and then I have three deals I haven't can't talk about. One I may talk about this week. Um, and the other is a thriller, and the other two. So it'll be four romance and one thriller, and just
Ooh,
book deals. But in audio books, I've sold everything. I don't even know that number.
okay. So if a person, because a lot of people say, "How do I get an agent?" Or if I'm looking for an agent, or not necessarily Lasheera, because you said you're not opening up your query, or you might
I'm not
be.
opening my query manager, but I'm open to querying. But I'm not
Okay.
opening my query manager. Everybody just dump those. Yeah, I don't. Yeah, I don't want to read 100 manuscripts per month.
Okay. Okay. So if a person was looking for an agent, what's some advice that you can give them?
Well,
Um,
make sure you know the terminology. A lot of people don't know the terminology about querying and proposals. Make sure you know what a synopsis look like, what it and it looks different for everyone, but you need to know like the basics of it. You also need to understand if that particular agent is looking for what you have. Say for instance, if someone was shopping a horror, I am not that girl.
okay.
I am not a horror girl. If you're shopping, I'll do romancy, but I'm not looking for a fantasy. I am not that
I'm
girl.
gonna ask you about fantasy.
So you need to make sure that that person I'm not looking for memoirs. I like read long nonfiction, but I'm not that girl that was willing to shop it. I don't read. I read probably like a few celebrity memoirs, but like your personal memoir, because everyone has a compelling story. That's what I hear. But I am not that person if you want to shop that. So you need to make sure that that agent is the right fit for what you have.
Okay. All right. And lastly, how do people get in touch with you in case they do
Oh,
want you
girl,
as
they
an agent?
find me, honey. Lord, trust.
So just look for Lasheera Lee and you'll find everything.
Yeah, I was like, who's this? Yeah, inbox, email. Yeah.
Yeah,
Another
okay.
thing, like if we're not friends, so I have found things in my, how especially Meta will hide that those messages. I have found stuff like from 6 months ago because I'm not that person's friend, and
Mm-hmm.
so it's kind of like,
It
hey,
ends
girl,
up
hey,
in an off ramp.
yeah.
And I've done the same thing. Oh, I didn't know this was
And
here.
I'm like, and sometimes you'll see a few, and then it's like you may, and then the whole like slew will pop up next week. You like, oh my goodness, yeah.
So, but anyway, if you want to reach out to Lasheera Lee, she's a literary agent, and
Oh,
she
we're finished already. Oh my, that
we're
was
done.
quick.
It's the end of the show. So the time goes by really fast.
It
So
does.
anyway, Lasheera, thanks for being on the show.
Oh, thank you for
I'll
the
be in touch with you.
invitation.
We've been communicating about some things, so I'll continue to be in touch.
All right, well, thank you. You all have a wonderful evening.
Okay, you too.
Bye.
Bye bye.